Well, let's go put some rubber tires back on our Project TRX-4, but the Bronco just came in. I said it on Instagram and I'm gonna say it here. This is absolutely stunning. Traxxas outdid themselves recreating the 2021 Ford Bronco on their TRX-4 platform. This is just incredible. Look at the color. The red is so deep. The rapid red with the metallic in here. Oh, I really wish you could see this up close. Hopefully the pictures are doing it justice. But before I dive too deep into it, this is a ready-to-run RC off-road rock crawler. For those of you that are new to the hobby, it's four-wheel drive, it's on a proven platform, and Traxxas, they really make it easy to get into RC. Now, let's get into it. This thing, I can't stop looking at it. Just every time I kind of round a corner, the detail on here is just incredible. I talked to the crew over at Traxxas and they spent a lot of time going back and forth with Ford to make sure that this thing looked as scale as possible. And I think they nailed it. And let's just start off at the front here, actually with the grille, because the detail in the grille is just incredible. Look at these lights, the depth of the opening in the grills. The Bronco logo here is raised, and just the lettering is perfectly done on here, even down to the marker lights. These are separate plastic pieces from what it feels like. Those look really good, and you can go and put LED lights in here. When they announced this, they also announced some new light sets that you'll be able to install in their new vehicles and existing vehicles. And once you go and put LED lights in here, if you want to customize it, I think it's just going to look even more phenomenal. Look at this. We've got our trail markers up here, separate pieces, and just the molding is perfect. I mean, this is Lexan here, and they were able to get this nice, deep, crisp line in the mold. Really nice work. Love it. But I can't stop staring at those lights. Really like the lights on this truck. And I'm not a big Ford guy. I mean, I appreciate all different types of vehicles out there, but this one really has my attention. All right, let's move on here. The fender flares are separate. These are screwed onto the body. Love the way it looks. Again, just really crisp lines here. Then we'll move up to the vent cowl here. This is all one piece out to the mirrors, and check this out. The mirrors fold in. This is actually how it arrives, and you have to fold out the mirrors. I think that's pretty awesome. Check out the wipers. I mean, these things look almost real. Love the way they look. Let me spin it around here so you can just check out the other mirror, and then we'll move on to the side of the door handles. Yes, those are separate pieces, not decals, even a little indent behind it for your hand to grab in, just like a real vehicle. Love the way that looks. Again, just like the front, the fender flares are separate, screwed to the body. And out back here, check this out. Look at these tail lights. I mean, the detail in the tail lights, just incredible. I mean, we don't even have to do anything except, you know, if you want, again, add LED lights later. Look at the decals for the hinges. You got the Bronco emblem back there, the Ford emblem over here, TRX-4 license plate, and a functional spare tire out back. That thing looks pretty rad. Look at the new wheels. The wheels look fantastic, just replicas of the Ford Bronco wheels. Love the way that looks, and they're wrapped in the Canyon Trail tire. So these tires are really good for ready-to-run tires. I love the way these things grip nice and soft. Got a good insert on the inside, and they're well glued from the factory. But this is just incredible. Now, what's missing from this? Something's missing. It's the body clips. That is so awesome to see. I've said it before in some other videos that Traxxas really needs to get rid of their body clips. They did so, and they did it right. There's actually little tabs here in the fender wells that you just pull on the tab and the body pops up. So let me pop up the other ones. Usually you use two hands, one on each side. So there, another one pops up. I'm gonna pop this one up over here, and the other one over here. And now I can just pull the body, oh, no, this one grabbed again. I'm just doing it one-handed. But see, it pops right off. Check that out. But watch this. This is what's incredible. Just kind of set it back down here, kind of guides itself in, and look at that. It's locked in. I barely even touched it. It's locked in, and this thing is not coming off at all. They did it right. They did it right. All right, let me pull this back off, and we'll take a closer look at the inside of the body and move on to the chassis. All right, so I've got the body off. Here's a look at the inside, and you can kind of see this inner cage that they have going on that really helps support the body and the accessories that get bolted onto the body. You can see the headlight pods here that are LED ready, but there are those clips. There's a nice close-up look at the clips. You can see they're even knurled, so you could grab onto them nice and easily. They have the same in the back. Look, even the spare tire is well braced. And another thing I forgot to mention is look at the interior. We've got gray paint on the inside, which is really cool. I like the attention to detail there. And the windows are clear, so you don't even have to worry about getting another body if you wanted clear windows like some of the old ready-to-runs in the past. Really cool to see that. And then another thing I need to mention is it is available in another color, the cyber yellow, as you can see on the box art back there. So definitely, you've got options. It's a really cool looking body, and Traxxas really stepped up their scale appearances on their rigs. So let's take a look at the TRX-4 now, and let's check out some unique features to this, which starts off at the modular front bumper here. So we've got the Bronco style bumper. We've got these D-hooks here, which actually swing nice and free. You know, some of them hang up. I like that these swing nice and free. I don't have to go and adjust those. But this bumper looks really good. I mean, really scale looking. This faux winch right here will come out, and you can install their aftermarket new winch if you want to go add an operating winch to this. The fair lead opening here is just painted almost a chrome. It looks really, really good. And then I just want to flip it over really quickly so you can see the skid on the bottom. I think that's pretty important, and nice and functional, nice and sturdy there. Very cool to see. Now let me spin it around back just so you can check out the rear bumper. Take a look at that. It has a trailer hitch opening. We've got the TRX-4 logo, and just really nice shape to that bumper. Looks good. Now let me show you the fender wells. So really cool, number one, that we have fender wells on this truck, but number two, here is the opening where those tabs for the body mounts go in. So you can just reach into the fender well here and grab those tabs to get the body off. My only concern is for those of you that like mudding, maybe those would get filled up with mud possibly, but that's something we'll have to see. Worst case is you drive it through some water probably to get that mud out, just so you get the body clip back off. But this is just me guessing. That's the only thing that I could find that may be questionable on this new rig. But overall, it's got a great look to it. Love the glossy wheels. Just I wanted to show you that again. The sliders, we've seen that on the TRX-4 before. And the TRX-4 platform here is relatively unchanged from some of the other models that they have out there. So I'll just highlight some of the features really quickly. We've got a steel ladder frame rail, really good looking frame set and sturdy to boot. Up front here, we've got an additional plate if you wanted to go and add a battery up front to maybe power some accessories, or to just run a standard battery here to get some weight over the front. We've seen the fender wells before. There's still the cross braces here, so I guess if you wanted to go and add some body mounts to this chassis, you would be able to do that. In the center here, we've got the transmission, and this is a switchable transmission, 2-speed. There is a shift servo over here, and then the transmission has slider shafts down to the portal axles, which is what people really love about the TRX-4 rig. Really stout axles, steel gears on the inside, and then all the spinning components are of course supported by ball bearings, and then the differentials are locking style differentials. So they're open right now. You could see it freewheel, but if you go and shift it from the radio system, the servos will go and lock out the differentials. So you could go and, really crawl up some gnarly terrain, or again, if you're just, driving it around for fun, you open the differentials up. It's easy to get this thing navigated around your backyard or through dirt mounds and stuff like that. So the functionality of this rig is really top notch. Now, the battery gets mounted up top. Here is our electronics. We could get into the electronics. The XL5 HV speed controller handles up to 3S, also has a powered lead here so you can go and run your accessories from Traxxas. 21 turn motor mounted to the transmission. And then we've got a 2075X servo. So this is a high torque metal geared servo, and they have a metal servo horn on here. So let me flip that over. You can see the metal servo horn down there. That's nice to see because the other ones were plastic. Then we got metal links throughout. There's the floorboards, a nice skid here. You can see the transmission is offset. We've got the offset axle in the front, central pumpkin in the rear. The shocks are the GTR shocks. Really nice oil-filled aluminum shock bodies on those shocks. Metal pivot balls throughout. Really great rig from Traxxas. If you're just new to crawling and want something that just works right out of the box, that's fun in any capacity, the TRX-4 platform is really a great way to go. All right, now let me go back over here because I want to show you what else comes in the box. Of course, you get the TQI transmitter. It has switches for your 2-speed and your locking differentials. You could also upgrade this with their link module to get even more functionality out of it. You also get some Traxxas decals, some basic tools, and your instruction manuals, which you should read. Again, you've seen the box art. It looks really awesome on both sides. Trust me. Now, I think we need to go out and drive this. It's gonna look so incredible out there on the rocks. featured the TRX-4 on this channel a bunch of times. I think there was like 30 videos when I looked at the archives, and we were actually one of the first to upload a video to YouTube on the TRX-4. It was a horrible video, but I was able to get something up there when I first saw it released. And when I did the unboxing, that video got like over 700,000 views. So I've driven TRX-4s. We've done a lot with TRX-4s, but I have to tell you, this thing was absolutely amazing. And I don't know exactly why, but I had so much fun driving it. It was almost like a different truck. It just went everywhere I put it. It was so much fun to drive. When I got home from the video shoot, I looked at my messages and I got one from Scale Builders Guild, and he said I had so much fun driving it. And I instantly knew what he was talking about. They have a Bronco over there on their channel. Side note, I would suggest checking out that video. It's probably really cool. I don't even know if it's uploaded yet, but I'm guessing it's going to be awesome because it always is. But I mean, this was just a really great experience for a right out of the box, ready to run crawler. Again, I don't know what they did to it. I don't know if it's the wheelbase. I don't know if it's the way it's distributed on the body that's different from the Defender. But this was just a really capable rig right out of the box. So let me break things down. And first up, the body looks absolutely killer on the rocks. It just looks so cool when you get down with the camera. If you're a video guy that likes to video your scale rigs and stuff, this thing just looks so cool behind the camera monitor. And just setting up different scenarios for it to crawl, so much fun. But you know, beyond just the video portion of it, I did take it around the trails at that local park, and it was just so much fun to just crawl down the dirt paths. When I found some rocks to go over, just navigating through that stuff. I mean, I could really see all types of people using this rig for all different types of adventures. But when I really concentrated on what this thing could do, its performance level, it was super capable. Let's start off with the front. The approach angle is really good with this bumper. I was able to get my tires onto the rocks without hanging up the bumper. The descents, once in a while I would hang up the bumper, but I would just kind of mash throttle. It would scrape the bumper and it would pull itself out of its bind. But the descent angle is also fine. With the rear bumper, that didn't really catch on anything. I did catch the spare tire here and there on the ground. But the CG on this, for some reason, even though it does have some weight to it, it doesn't really affect this rig that much. There's a lot of weight inside this body, in my opinion. I mean, we've got a full-size spare out back. We've got all the mounts for the lights and the fender wells and the plastics on the inside of it that add weight to it, but it really didn't seem to affect it. And I'm sure maybe if I put it on an extreme side hill situation, maybe it would roll over. But I mean, I had this thing so far vertical before it would want to tip over backwards that I was just really impressed with what it was able to crawl. The suspension on here works really well. I don't think I actually heard the tires catch the fenders, which is really cool. You don't want to hear that grabbing. A lot of people think it's gear mesh is bad or something like that, but this thing clears the fender wells really well, and then it just articulates amazingly. And I had this thing where, you know, it was so twisted up, the rear wheel was just up in the air and it looked like it was going to go over, but it didn't. And I just kind of smoothly crawled right out of the situation like I had done it a million times before. It was really, really cool. The steering on this, it's got the 2075X servo, which is cool. It's a metal geared servo. It has the metal servo horn on there, which I really like. So I felt the steering was a tad more precise, but it still did stall out on me when I really bound up the front end on some rocks. And I would have to wiggle the steering a little bit, maybe just, you know, tap the throttle a little bit to get it out of that position. And it was able to turn the wheels and go where it needed to go. So if you're ripping this thing around the backyard, the steering's going to be fine for that. But if you're really, you know, pushing this thing to the limits, you're probably going to want a steering servo upgrade at that point. And we all know that with ready-to-run crawlers, it's kind of a given. Power on this thing. The speed controller actually felt really good. Just a nice smooth throttle response. I like the descent, and you know, it had the power to bump up over the obstacles that I needed to. A nice slow crawl. I was running it strictly on a 3S battery, and it just worked fantastic. Speaking of like the power, the 2-speed. So the 2-speed has a nice, slow, manageable crawl. And I usually just use these TRX-4s in low gear, but for some reason I'm like, you know what, let me just try out high gear. And this thing has some serious rip to it. It was a whole new element of fun with this. And I could see so many people just ripping around their backyard for fun with a scale truck. And I know Traxxas is kind of meant for that, but I really never used it before, and it really just opened up the doors for me to a new experience of fun with this platform. Really like the power on it. Also, just as a side note, the cruise control that I often forget about this radio system has, where you just push a set button and it maintains a constant speed that you select with the trigger, was so cool. When I'm walking down the trails, I just hit the cruise control and just enjoyed the drive. That was pretty awesome. This thing looks killer. It handled killer. I mean, I was out there for hours. I went out there for a quick video shoot and it wound up taking me all day because I was just having a blast. And I know I'm really sound really excited about this, but I am. It's a cool looking truck. I mean, for me, what I would do with this rig is, yes, I would say get one and pretty much just like leave it kind of stock, maybe put a steering servo in there and get all those aftermarket accessories that they just came out with and just enjoy this rig as is. And I know a lot of people like to modify their rigs and stuff, but this one was really cool. I mean, all elements of this, from the Bronco body to the capable chassis and my newfound excitement for features that were already there, I mean, just make this a killer rig. I really enjoyed it. Awesome job, Traxxas. You guys are coming out with some really cool stuff. Let me know what you guys think about the Bronco in the comment section below. I've already been seeing some really great comments about it, but I'm interested to know your thoughts. If you plan on adding one to your collection, let me know. Let me know which color. That would be pretty cool to see who's getting what. But again, awesome rig, guys. All right, thanks for checking out the review of the Traxxas TRX-4 Bronco. If you haven't done so yet, please click that subscribe button and the notifications bell. Throw the video a like, and we'll see you back soon for some more RC Driver videos.